Mr. Moderator, fellow town meeting members, the Finance Committee does not recommend that Article 7 appropriate for Needham climate action planning be voted favorably on. The two primary reasons for not recommending adoption of Article 7 are first, that the request for the expenditure of funds is outside of the budget process. The budget process begins in the fall with estimates of revenues and expenditures being developed. There is a meeting between the town manager and the Finance Committee regarding budget guidelines. Departments and committees submit their operating and their capital budget requests. Budget requests for the operating budget are submitted to the Finance Committee in December. The capital plan is submitted in January. Town meeting warrant articles are then developed in early winter. All requests are reviewed together. They are prioritized to determine which will be funded. By taking a funding appropriation out of cycle, it essentially prioritizes that request over others. One key question then for the Finance Committee that is asked is, why should an appropriation be made now, since it cannot be balanced against other requests? What is the urgency? The urgency in this case has not been expressed to the Finance Committee. The second reason why the Finance Committee recommends that Article 7 not be adopted is that while the Climate Action Plan Committee and the Board of Selectmen have an idea of how the funds will be expended, they do not have a scope of work for a consultant at this point in time. Very good work has been done by both the Climate Action Planning Committee and the Board of Selectmen, and very good work continues to be done. But we are not at the point where an appropriation can be made. Climate action plans for other communities have cost significantly higher than the $55,000. To the extent that work is being done, it should be done well, and it should be done completely. At this point in time, we do not have an understanding of what the $55,000 would be spent on, and whether it will provide the services that we will need in order to develop a climate action plan. Once the scope is developed, then a cost estimate for those services can be determined and an appropriation requested. The Finance Committee suggests that this become part of the process in the spring with other budget requests, and that it be brought back to town meeting at that point in time. For these reasons, the Finance Committee does not recommend adoption of Article 7 appropriate for Needham Climate Action Plan. Thank you, Mr. Moderator.